To examine a photocopy document for authenticity or to determine its origin, what we do is that we analyze various characteristics, including the type of toner, paper, and any unique marks, other marks or defect left by the copier or the machine, computer, maybe it's made a computer printer. So we compared the known to unknown. But in the recent past, most business offices or business outfits contain only specialized job-specific office machines, such as photocopiers, fax machines, printers, and scanners. Different machines. But these days, in many offices, what they employ now is what we call multi-purpose machines that combine all the functions of all this machine. That is, you see a machine that can scan, copy, print, and therefore, if care is not taken, a question document examiner that is not updated in his knowledge may be confused. But one thing is this: any of this machine, the photocopier machine and all these multifunctional machine or multipurpose machines, they make use of the same technology for the production of documents. Laser printers or laser multifunctional printers or office multifunctional devices and digital production printing system all employ the same printing principle as that of photocopier. So, except the inkjet. So, there are two main technologies in use in contemporary inkjet printers. The first one is known as a continuous inkjet and drop on demand. Continuous and drop on demand. So, to identify the source of a disputed document from these machines, the following must be done. Recall that I said there are two major reasons why you may want to forensically examine a computer-generated document or a photocopy document. The first reason is to confirm which machine produced it. Which machine produced it? That is, you want to know, you want to tie that machine to an office or to a person. So if you know the machine that produced it, then you can know which office produced it. Then another reason is to confirm whether the document is still in its original state or perhaps it has been doctored. Maybe some things has been removed or has been added to it, like a word, a line, or paragraph. In every identification process, there are two things that must be considered. The first is class characteristics, and the second one is individual characteristics. Individual characteristics. In class characteristics, we consider some things like the paper type used for the production of that document. We consider type of toner used, or if it is ink that was used. Then we consider the reduction or enlargement capabilities of the system, of the machine that produced the document. Another thing that you consider is the printing technology, whether it was toner that was used or whether it was ink that was used. Then if it is toner that was used, which type of fusion method? Let's consider this one after the other. The paper type. Paper type can determine the type of machine used to create it. For example, some papers cannot be used on some machines. That is, the size and thickness matters in production of any photocopied or computer-generated document. We only allow A4 or letter. Some machine will only allow papers sizes of A letter, A4, photo, etc. But anything larger than A4, they will not allow you to, they can't print on it. Which means if you have like 3 or 4 suspected machines, if there's one of them that cannot print more than A4 letter and some other smaller sizes, it means that, so if the document is printed on paper like, or if the document is printed on anything larger than A4, then those machines that can only print on A4 will be eliminated. So if there's, assuming we have just only one that can print on any other one rather than A4, for example, larger than A4, then that one is the one that we conduct further investigation on. The other 3 that cannot print more than A4 will be eliminated because the paper used for the document is larger than A4. Another thing that we will consider is the printing technology. That is, we look at the toner type. If it is toner, check the document if it's toner they used to print it or ink that was used to print it. If toner and ink use different technology, among machines that use toner, they use different technology. There are some that use heat and pressure method, while some use cold pressure method. Any machine that you use heat and pressure method in the printing technology, the typeface of anything that is print will be shiny. When you look at it under use microscope, it will be shiny there. But if it is cold pressure that was used, you can see the typeface will have a dull appearance, and the density of the typeface of the toner of the typeface will be lower in the cold pressure method, rather the fusion method, rather than that of heat and pressure fusion method that will be dense, bold. You make it to have appearance of bold or high density toner. If you are able to detect the type of toner that was used for any document, it is easy for you to say a particular machine may be the culprit. Though there may be 2 or 3 machines in the same office, if there's anyone that does not fall into that category of using the same technology, then you eliminate it. It will remain those one, or the only one that you can use the same technology. You remember that class characteristics can only be used to link characteristics or a feature on an object to a group of objects. For example, this printing technology that we are considering is not only one machine that uses it, but a group of machines. All the machines from the same manufacturer and the same model will have the same appearance. The toner, the typeface will have the same appearance. They use the same toner, and the typeface will be having the same appearance. This ink that was used, then you can know surely that if it is ink, it can't be any of the machine that use a laser technology. So it will be inkjet or DexJet, maybe Canon, HP, or any other from any other manufacturer. But if it is ink, you can know surely that anyone that you use toner must be eliminated. A machine that cannot reduce or enlarge cannot be used to print on a paper a machine that cannot reduce or enlarge cannot be used to produce a document that, a machine that cannot reduce or enlarge cannot be used to produce a document that, a machine that cannot reduce or enlarge cannot be used to produce a document that, a machine that cannot reduce or enlarge cannot be used to produce a document that, a machine that cannot reduce or enlarge cannot be used to produce a document that, a machine that cannot reduce or enlarge cannot be used to produce a document that, a machine that cannot reduce or enlarge cannot be used to produce a document that, a machine that cannot reduce or enlarge cannot be used to produce a document that, a machine that cannot reduce or enlarge cannot be used to produce a document that, a machine that cannot reduce or enlarge cannot be used to produce a document that, a machine that cannot reduce or enlarge cannot be used to produce a document that, a machine that cannot reduce or enlarge cannot be used to produce a document that, a machine that cannot reduce or enlarge cannot be used to produce a document there is evidence that the document was reduced. So any machine that doesn't have the capability of reduction. And lastly, okay, we are talking about printing technology. Not all machine, either photocopy or computer printers, not all of them can print color. So any document that has color on it means that the machine used to produce it, either photocopier machine or those multifunctional devices. If if the machine is color, any one of them that cannot produce color, that cannot print the color, will be eliminated. So class characteristics is very good at eliminating, so that will help us to narrow down our search. It will help us to narrow down our search. The next stage is to go for individual characteristics, to check individual characteristics, because individual characteristics are the features on the disputed document that can be used to link the disputed document with the specific machine that produces it. So what we do is that we look for unique or individual features on the photocopied document or the computer generated document that could help identify the source machine. Any unique or individual features that can help us to identify the source machine. So what we do is that we compare the overall characteristics of the disputed photocopy or computer generated document with those of known samples from the suspected machines. You have to get some document from the suspected machines, or if there are none on ground, we print new one using papers. We print new one using the type of paper that was used to produce that one. So we get samples from the known machine. So those samples are known samples, and then the disputed will be compared with them. And when we are doing this, the major thing we use in while examining a question document, a question photocopy or computer generated document, is that we look for what we call trash marks or defect marks. The trash mark is as a result sort of usage or abuse. This mark develop on the machine over time due to use or abuse. I will try to categorize this into three. The first one is platen marks. The glass platen marks. The glass platen on the photocopier machine or any of these multifunctional on which you put your document upside down when you want to print before you cover the lid. That glass is known as glass platen. Glass platen. Another one that you consider is drum defect marks. In those machines that uses that their printing technology is they use laser, that use laser in their technology, in the printing technology. All of them employ drums. They employ drums, and the drum can have defects. So the defect of the drum is what we call drum defect marks. And the third one is the roller defect marks. These printers or these machines, the photocopier machines or computer printers, they use roller device, and this roller can, anytime it has a defect, it will also appear on the paper. So we consider all these three as we are moving on. So, when what are the method that we use? What you do is that you compare the marks on the question document with those made by a specific machine to determine if the machine is the source of the document. And this is what you do. The first thing is to check for the numbers of platen marks. The printing computers, glass plating is after a period of usage. If the after a period of usage, the platen may have marks, may have marks that is putting on the on every document that come out of the machine that is being produced by the machine. And the cause of this platen mark is the speck of dust, a speck of dust or specks of dust. Specks of dust may be on the platen. So that speck of dust will always give a mark on a particular position on the document. It may be so small that just mere looking at it, you may not even discover that it's there. The photocopier, the machine may be so neat that you may not discover it by just mere looking at it. But by the time you carefully use a microscope or magnifying lens or even ordinary magnifying lens to look at it, you may be able to see very well. So the platen marks, it may be one or many, will always be in the same position. So look at it and compare it with known sample from the suspected machines. And when you are doing this one, you look at this distance of this mark or marks. Look at the distance from the top margin to the place where you have the platen. Compare that one with that of the known samples. Another thing you do is that you check for the size of the platen marks. The platen marks will always have the same size on the disputed mark, disputed document, and the known samples. We always have the same size. So consider the size, measure the size. So if the size are the same in all the samples and that of disputed, you can be well assured that they are from and you consider some other things that they are from the same photocopier. Then also check for the shape of the platen marks. Check for the shape of the platen marks and compare with that of the known sample. Check for the shape of the platen marks and compare with the known sample. Also, on the another thing you consider is the drum defect marks. Drum defect marks. Everything you have done for the platen marks, you do the same thing. You consider the lines. The drum defect marks are vertical lines. They are lines. So you consider the size or the thickness of the line, the distance of the line from the edge of the paper, from the right and from the left. You consider those one, take note of that and compare with that of known samples. The numbers of the lines, maybe it's 1 or 2 or 3. At times you may have very thin line, at times you may not even have lines on document. So also you consider the roller mark. Roller also, when it has been used for a long period of time, always give. You consider which of the lines, which part of the document do you have the line, whether from the left or from the right. So all this will be considered, and you take note of this distance of the mark, how many are they, the size, the thickness. If the size with the glass platen mark, you consider the size, the shape. But if it is that of drum or ruler mark, it's only you consider their lines. So the distance and the thickness is what you consider, and the numbers. So when you consider all these things together, all of them together, with that of the class characteristics, then it is possible for you to say this is the machine that produced this document. So we are going to stop here today, and next week we talk about how to confirm if a document has been doctored or not. So see you on Tuesday.